Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the NR2003 simulations from Sonoma. Now things are a little rougher this week. I've had trouble getting things working and could not use a really good version of the racetrack, so it's a little lower quality than normal as far as the actual track and the camera angles. It's the best I can do this week. But Kevin Harvick is on the pole, Kurt Busch on his outside, and that is what will bring us to green right here. Pace cars down and away, and Harvick gets a nice jump down into turn 1 and up into 2A. Further back, they're still racing pretty hard, but keeping it routine and too wide. Jimmie Johnson there going under Cole Custer, Kurt Busch settling into second comfortably. As they come down into the long section, or the mid-section of the course that they added last year for Cup, or added back to the schedule, really. Kevin Harvick still holds the lead, and a guy that's running pretty well, Ryan Newman in the 6 car, running 9th. He's had a couple of rough weeks, but he still kept it in the top 20 every week. The only car was still the same number of top 20s as starts. He's never finished outside of it, and 7-time Jimmie Johnson having a little bit better run too. He's up there 2 spots in front of Ryan Newman. Cole Custer behind him, and back here is Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. 2 guys you would expect to see running better at this racetrack, but they're sitting right outside the top 10, settling into a rhythm in stage 1. Behind rookie Cole Custer, California native Cole Custer even. And another California native is Kyle Larson, who normally qualifies and races well at Sonoma, but not so much this time around. Struggling in the mid-pack, didn't qualify well, and not really going anywhere with it today. Kevin Harvick would come to the line to take stage 1, no real challenges for him. Everything works out for the 4 car, and he would bring everyone down pit road, no one stays out. Kurt Busch there following him in. And Busch would get out of pit road first, and you see it in the tail end of the screen. Aric Almirola makes contact with Martin Truex Jr. Here's another view of it here. Truex has to lift, Almirola piles in. And Kurt Busch brings us back to the start of stage 2. Jimmie Johnson is looking to get by that slower 10 car, doing his best to do so, but not really succeeding, and there's a wreck on the front stretch. Here's a replay. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson get together off of Kyle Busch, and a few that can't get through stack up, and it damages a few cars a little bit, but it would take Kyle Larson out of the race. Chase Elliott would continue, but off the pace. Here's a ride with Alex Bowman through this wreck. Bowman able to escape to the outside, then almost gets out into the wall because Christopher Bell pushed him there. And Kurt Busch brings us back to green. For now, a much shorter run to the finish of stage 2. He's got Brad Keselowski in that 2 car running right behind him. Aric Almirola pitted to repair that nose damage. And Jimmie Johnson, 7-time, rides in 4th. Kevin Harvick fighting his way past Erik Jones, but really can't get much done. He gets stuck behind Ryan Newman, who, no shocker, kind of difficult to pass, and that track position seems like it was king, and that was why Harvick was so good. Even with the best car, track position matters a lot, and Kurt Busch has been able to sort of pull out to a little bit of a lead out front, as Kevin Harvick remains stuck behind the 6 car of Ryan Newman. Kurt Busch, picking up with that lead, no problems winning stage 2. Takes it handily over Brad Keselowski in 2nd, and will bring us around to the caution, and no pit stops this time around. We come right back to green. No one brought it down pit road. Busch, Keselowski, Martin Truex with a little bit of rear end damage, and Ryan Newman steps out of line right away. Kevin Harvick tagged in the rear by Erik Jones, and they're all headed up the hill. Further back, 1 car in the dirt. It's the 43, and out into the tire barrier, Bubba Wallace. Got pushed into the dirt by, I think, Denny Hamlin, and it was just over from there. Nothing he could do to get it turned at way out there in the dirt. He did, however, keep it on all 4 wheels, which is better than most have done through that same spot. It's a really rough place to get off the racetrack. That'll bring us to another restart. Kurt Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, Jimmy Johnson. Same set as last time. Ryan Newman lost a spot to Kevin Harvick in that exchange, and now Harvick looks to get by Jimmy Johnson. That's point leader Kevin Harvick also pulling a hefty lead in the regular season points and really adding to it today with the stage win and good solid run so far, but it's still the Kurt Busch show out front. Nothing can be done to stop that one car, and Truex really lacking speed with that damaged rear spoiler back there. Now, Jimmy Johnson running in fourth and has, I don't know what kind of failure. I'm either thinking gearbox or tire failure, and he's off the pace now, and he would come to pit road and give up all of that position that he worked so hard for all day. Here we come to the last lap, headed into the hairpin here. Kurt Busch just has to cruise through and get the checkered flag out of the S's. He's doing a great job, done a great job all day, led 19 laps. He passes Jimmy Johnson with no trouble whatsoever. Gets that one car through the S's. He has had a great season so far. Really doing a great job points racing and not really relying on lucky wins or whatever he can do. His brother Kyle Busch, not so good on the points racing so far, but he got that lucky win at Homestead. Not lucky, he was good, but he has to rely on that win. Kurt's been really consistent, and I think it shows. That's the Busch brothers, though, and they're both locked into the playoffs in 2020. Kurt Busch wins at Sonoma, with Martin Truex Jr. second over Brad Keselowski. Kevin Harvick rallies back to fourth, but disappointing for the 4-car who could have won this race. Now we'll move on to the points, where Denny Hamlin still sits atop the board, but Kurt Busch joins the fray of drivers in green, locked in. He still needs to work his way up in bonus points if he's going to have a great chance of getting to the Final Four, but that's the start, getting locked in. Further down, Tyler Reddick, a bad day, really lost a lot of points. And Chase Elliott, also not such a good day getting involved in that wreck. Down at the cut line, however, Cole Custer moves up a little bit. He's back in the picture, and Alex Bowman and Clint Boyer are tied for 17th, but still 14 points out of the playoffs. Well, that will be it for this week. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you're still here, remember there will be a stream on Saturday for an all-star race with Sim Racers for Mental Health, and yeah, that'll be it. Thanks for watching.